Yo, what is up, gamers? New update on the public test branch. It's gonna be crazy. First, let's just get rid of new beard options. I think that's new. A mustache? Yeah, you know what? Let's go with that. So, if you will see, my bow is currently not leveled at all. And you see, you hit this, and you actually get points based on how well you hit it. And you can even take your arrows back. And that does... So you see, my bows are completely reset. And if I practice against this, it improves it. So you can actually use this as a way of training. Same thing with this. Now, I have no idea what ectoplasm is. We'll see later. So you see, you can actually level up with this as well. You see? So you can even just hit it from the behind, hit it from the back if you will, and it'll actually level your stuff up, which is crazy. And you can also use this to level blocking as well. So you really can't just use this as an actual test dummy. So no longer do you need to use your friends like I do. You don't need to use your friends inside of the game to help you level up. You can just use these things, which is such a fucking improvement. I cannot understate it. Oh, and it says a perfect block no longer costs stamina. So, you know, let's test that on some boars. And that is true. You see, when I block normally, obviously it costs stamina. But when I parry, you see, my stamina doesn't go down. If I spawn a wolf, won't be too much. There's a new perfect dodge mechanic where you actually get stamina back for dodging perfectly. Which makes dodging an actually pretty good alternative to parrying, which I like. So to summon a bear, we do spawn Bjorn. Okay. So that's what a bear looks like. If we attempt to shoot at it, it seems very pissed off. Okay, it's very slow. How much damage will it do to me, actually? Quite a lot of damage. And if I were to try to block some of that... Yeah, this thing's no joke. But against, you know, troll armor, it's not too bad. You can block. So, what you get with this, bear hide, bear meat. You can cook the bear meat on regular cooking stations, because I think this is supposed to be a meadows slash black forest enemy. And here's the bear trophy, which you need to make the headdress and also the bearskin rug. Which looks like this, which is pretty cool. I have a classic bearskin rug. We can make the headdress, which it gives 7 armor, which is actually better than troll armor at base. Bear hide, bear paws, okay. So patterns of the bear is the chest piece that you get. So this armor set gives you Berserk, which increases damage and regeneration, but weakens you against Blunt, Slash, and Pierce. Ah. We'll go over the trinkets later, one by one. But actually, let's use one of these trinkets now. So you see at the bottom of my screen there, when I'm in combat, when that builds up, is there a keybind for it? Or no, it says, when you get to that adrenaline, so adrenaline 50, that's when the effect will proc. And so this says increased health regen. So trinkets are just sort of a new part of the game and a new thing to clog up your inventory, as you can see. So you see right there, I just got the increase, and it lasts for a minute. At least this one does, and it gives you 25% more health regen. So it takes a while. And you can, it doesn't stack. Let me see if perfect dodging counts. Perfect dodging does count. Taking damage doesn't count. But blocking, and it seems like attacking and perfect dodging and parrying are the fastest ways to get it up. Blocking doesn't get it up that much. Ah, here it is. So this is a new structure. In the world. And it's called Combat Tests. Or Combat, it's called Combat Ruins. And so it spawns one of these evil bone piles in the middle of the meadows. Right here. So yeah, no longer will perfect blocking use stamina, which is actually so good. So, Unbjorn. This is the undead, skeletonized version. And you see the adrenaline actually builds up slower. Oh my god. Wow, that does a lot. Wow. Okay. That's kind of deadly. So, let's try that again, shall we? This undead. Okay, it's the timing is tricky, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, dude, it's actually so tricky. Yes, okay, this enemy is no joke. I'm rocking silver gear, like some of the best food you could have. Silver shield, iron sword. This thing is kicking my ass. So, now that we've slayed that awful thing, yes, you do in fact need linen to craft the vilebone stuff. So for the vilebone cage, you need bear hide, rib cage, linen. For the maul claws, you also need black metal, linen, rib cage. And this is what it looks like. Nice bony armor with a nice sort of cape or, thing around the waist, and you got these. And so these also have these basically have the same bonus. It's 18 armor for all of it. 12 armor for the head. It doesn't slow you down. Once again, increases damage and regen, but weakens you against physical damage. So slightly weak against blunt slash pierce. But you do more blunt and pierce damage, and also you have more health and stamina regen. So now I'm gonna go over all of the trinkets now that we've killed the enemies. Oh, you can sit on the rug. That's funny. So they're grouped up into basically 2 trinkets per era of the game, give or take, and then 1 for ocean. So we have the bronze pendant, which is bronze, bear trophy, ruby. Saw me use it, gives you stamina regen. Same for Heart of the Forest, bronze, and then Great Orf Shaman, Ancient Seeds, increases health regen. So those are for bronze tier stuff, and then I'll just go up to this for the Fins of Destiny, which is reduced swim stamina cost and increased swim speed. Now this only requires 10 adrenaline to activate, which makes sense. It lasts a while, so you kind of want to so you see now I got Fins of Destiny for 2 minutes. So you can see I'm moving extremely fast in the water. It's 50% speed and minus 80% swim usage. So you can just fight some enemies along the coast. And then honestly, I could swim to that island and back. And it's also important to note that if you unequip it, you keep the buff when you unequip it. So I could equip that, then equip something like this. You see, and you can have, in the top right, you can have multiple trinket effects active at the same time. So now if I put back on the Fins of Destiny, boom. So you can have more than one active at a time. You just can't equip more than one, so you kind of have to hot swap it. I don't know if that might be changed in the future. So yeah. Now for the Iron tier. Iron Brooch, Iron Bark Leech, health gain, and it gives you armor. For 65 adrenaline, which is pretty good. And then we have the Nimble Anklet with a Surtling Trophy and Bone. Increased run speed and a quick burst of stamina for 60 adrenaline. It only lasts 30 seconds, so it's more of like a getaway tool if you want to escape a fight. And now for the Mountain tier, we have Crystal Heart, which is resistance to blunt slash pierce for 50 seconds. 80 adrenaline costs though. So, and a Stone Golem trophy, which are kind of rare and difficult to get. Fenring Trophy Wolfang of Wolf Sight increases bow, spear, skill, and increases pierce damage. So if you like using spears and bows, or have anything that does piercing damage, for 30 seconds you get extra. Seems kind of ass, not gonna lie. Now for the Plains tier stuff, we have Evasion Mantle. Increases dodge, skill, and reduced block stamina cost. So minus 50% block, and you get a parry bonus, which seems interesting. 60 adrenaline, 120 seconds. Also, that's what happens when you kill it. It actually dies. You can't out DPS. It does heal, but you out DPS it. Okay, and the other one, Braces the Brave, locks, gives you more health, clubs. It's 85 adrenaline though. Increase mace, yeah. So, and it also gives you extra HP. So this one seems better for. So you see, look at that, 100 health as a quick boost, and then also you get some extra clubs and blunt damage. So if you're in like a big fight against like the queen or something, this could be like really helpful, so you don't have to use a health potion or something. So now on to Mistlands tier stuff. We have the Resounding Shackle, which increased slash damage and a quick burst to stamina regen. So you can already guess what that one does. It just gives you more slash damage, and it gives you 100 burst. So this seems like it'd be really good for something like the Skull and Haughty, or like a sword. It does mostly slashing. So you can get a quick burst of stamina back. And then we have Pulsating Earring. Increased I-tier regen. That's pretty self-explanatory. Oh, you know what? So you see, for 60 seconds we get like a nice 25%. So you know, if you're doing a mage build, this is just like a nice thing to have on top of your mage build. It just gives you extra regen. So now we're on to the last two, which are Ashlands. We have Brimstone, which Morgan Trophy, Molten Core, Sulfur, Flame Metal, a lot of stuff. But this one gives you health and stamina. It's basically just an upgraded version of this one, because it gives you health and stamina. So this is like a really good for just any build, really. Requires 100 adrenaline, so if you're gonna use this, make sure you really do it in a long fight. And then we have the Your Mundling, which requires Valkyrie Trophy, Bloodstone, Eiter, Flame Metal, increased Elemental and Blood Magic skill, and a quick burst of Eiter, so you get 100 Eiter instantaneously. Plus 20 Elemental Magic, plus 20 Blood Magic, 60 per minute. Also good, you know, for the endgame mage build. Oh, this is what ghosts look like now. There we go. So you know how in crypts there was those ghosts? This is what they look like now. And those drop ectoplasm. Huh. Wow, no trophy. And so yes, you use ectoplasm to craft the Battle Brother, which is what I showed off before. Another of the new weapons they added are these, the Blob Bombs. You buy these corked vials from the Bog Witch. And so you have tar bombs. All of these basically just cost a trophy, the vial, and then the material. So, you know, blob trophies, resin, blob. This one's just more poisonous. Sulfur, Proustite powder, and then also golem, resin. So, if we use frost, these wolves, it spawns a frost blob. So, this might end in a bit catastrophically. The poison one spawns, you know, a blob. The elite poison one spawns an oozer. So you can play Pokemon out here. Uh-oh. Get out of here. And they do in fact actually drop the resources. So you can actually, you know, see, that enemy is deadly. Yeah. So, the fact that these are basically crafted with simple materials like golem trophies and resin and sulfur, you can literally create almost like a mob farm where you spawn these things in. And then they can die, and then you can actually get materials back. See? So the tar one spawns tar. So you just spawn blobs on top of groups of enemies. So if you find like a fueling village, if you're brave enough to get growth trophies in tar, and you're maybe a bit afraid of going into a loaded fueling camp, you can just toss a couple of these bad boys out. And cause an all-out war. And look, they clean up the camp quick. I don't even think I needed to do that many. They're killing, look at how deadly they're killing There's 2 stars. They will attack you, of course. So, but I mean, you can clear out an entire camp like this, basically. So, among the other changes, there's also, they reworked all of the Forsaken powers. So they basically just reworked them a little bit. So Eikthyr, run, jump, and swim stamina usage, all minus 60% for 300 seconds. The Elder, better health regen, still better tree chopping, and pickaxe usage now. And Bone Mass went from, instead of just a regular resistance, to slightly resistant to blunt slash and pierce. It also buffs your shield and blocking stamina, so you can block way better. For motor, increases your carry weight, it gives you resistance to frost, and gives you more movement speed. Alongside the already present sailing buff that it gave before. Yagluth has a ton of things it barely even displays. Basically, resistance versus lightning. It gives you better farming, more blunt slash pierce, better chopping, better pickaxes, better fire, frost, lightning, poison, spirit. Just a ton of things. So instead of Yagluth just being like just magic or like elemental resistance, he basically just gives you an all-around good choice, like an all-around. Like if you want better pickaxe and axe, you use Elder, but if you just want to be good at everything, then Yagluth is the best. Queen, more Eikthyr regen, like usual, resistance to poison, sneak stamina use reduction, so better sneaking as well. For fodder, resistance to fire, more adrenaline use. Which one I want to check out soon. So, you get 100 plus 100% extra adrenaline, more stagger resistant as well. So yeah, they basically just reworked all of the powers. They reworked all the powers to better suit the game. On top of that, they've added a bunch of new weapons as well. A bunch of early game weapons. A lot of them aren't implemented, it doesn't seem like yet. Or at least I can't find them for the life of me. So the only 3 that I could find are the Skull Splitnir, the Skull Splittier, the Black Metal Battle Axe, and the Wooden Sword. So yeah, it's basically just 2 more battle axes. And then an early game sword, so you don't have to get a bronze sword. I'm gonna list off all of the weapons that are supposed to be added. The wooden sword we saw. There's a wooden greatsword, a wooden axe, a wooden 2-handed axe, a wooden mace, a wooden sledge, a wooden spear, a wooden atgear, and a wooden knife. So basically, it's just a bunch of wooden weapons for the early game so that you can level up your skills easier. They don't exist in-game at the moment, or at least I can't find, besides the wooden sword, I can't find any way to actually find them at the moment. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. In this showcase of the cool shit that went down. Sorry if it was a little bit all over the place. I had to make this immediately. But yeah, see you next time.